Actually, Jake, I've decided to work at your company.
I was back home after a long time with my wife and kids. Since Mom passed away, my dad seemed downcast. Watching him revive his spirits while playing with his grandchild Lynn was comforting. But then he dropped this surprising news. Financially, he's not struggling. He's been enjoying hobbies like hiking and made friends through volunteering. I couldn't grasp why he, well past 60, wanted to start working again. Growing up, Dad was always busy, so there aren't many memories of us spending time together as a family. However, he's always felt guilty for not spending time with us and our mom. Truth be told, as we siblings grew up, we started valuing time with friends, lovers, and eventually, our own families more than with our dad. He once shared with Mom his plans to go hiking together after retiring at 65. That's when I discovered they met in a college hiking club and began dating. But just before realizing that dream, Mom passed away. At her funeral, he kept repeating, "I'm so sorry." It broke my heart. He seemed to age overnight. Especially after retirement, he seemed like a mere shadow of himself. He's mostly been staying at home, not even turning on the TV and just zoning out. If we don't prompt him, he even forgets to eat. I live in Chicago for work, so I couldn't easily check on him in New York. My two brothers live in the East Coast region, but aren't close enough to drop by often due to their own families and commitments. There are often stories of spouses passing away shortly after their partner. I feared Dad would follow suit. Things changed about a year after Mom's death. He got introduced to a senior hiking group at his favorite diner. This rejuvenated him as he took up activities like chess and volunteering. Seeing this, I felt truly relieved and happy. "Why work now? You're not in financial need." I hinted at my disagreement, but he responded, "I want to start fresh. We won't cross paths. I'll be at the New York head office, you're in the Chicago branch, right?" I realized I couldn't change his mind and just hoped he wouldn't push himself too hard. On his first day at work, I got a call from Jason, who works at the head office. He is my close friend from my batch and someone who knew my dad. He also came to my mom's funeral. I had informed him about my dad joining the head office.
Hey, Thompson was complaining, saying, "Why hire an old, useless guy?"
The rumor must have been so widespread that it reached Jason, who works in a different department, suggesting that Thompson must have said some pretty harsh things about my dad. Thompson is a senior when I was at the New York office. He had always burdened me with chores and scolded me unjustly. Despite his antagonism, I worked hard and was acknowledged by other seniors and bosses. Consequently, I rapidly climbed the corporate ladder and now serve as the deputy director of the Chicago branch. Thompson, on the other hand, remains stuck due to his tendency to dump work on others. Given this, Thompson had always been hostile towards me. Having mentioned my dad to the department heads, I assume Thompson got the message and took a jab at my dad. This made me fear Thompson might make things hard for my dad. Since my father joined the company, every week I'd call him up and ask, "Dad, are you doing okay at work? Nobody is giving you a hard time or harassing you, right? Jake, are you treating me like a kid? I've worked for companies until retirement. Whatever happens, I'll be fine. Don't worry about it." He'd laugh it off. He added, "Even if someone says something, I don't want to cause trouble at the new company I've joined. Just let it be." Then, one day,
"I'm on a business trip to the Chicago branch. Let's grab a drink after work."
I received a call from Jason. After finishing work, we met in the lobby and I took Jason to a local bar. Although I'm originally from New York, I've now grown quite fond of Chicago's renowned deep dish pizzas and hot dogs. This bar had amazing deep-fried cheese sticks, and occasionally, I'd stop by after work for a drink.
"This is delicious. Chicago sure has some great food."
Munching on a cheese stick, I remembered bringing my parents here when they visited Chicago.
Chicago food is so tasty. Wish they had such places in New York.
The image of my mom enjoying her meal popped into my mind, and I had to quickly gulp down my beer to stop my eyes from watering. We chatted about work and family, and when things calmed down, I asked Jason, "Is my father doing okay at the headquarters?" Jason hesitated for a moment. That was a sign that the news wasn't good.
I don't have all the details since I'm in a different department, but it seems like he's being harassed by Thompson almost every day.
The nature of the harassment was exactly what I'd faced in my younger days. Trivial tasks dumped on him, sarcastic remarks, and even unwarranted yelling for mistakes even if they weren't my dad's fault.
Just the other day, Thompson told him, let the newbie clean the floors, and he actually made him do it.
My blood boiled. My dad was a senior executive. It was infuriating to imagine him being bullied by a mediocre senior employee like Thompson. My anger wasn't directed just at Thompson, but also at the colleagues who allowed such behavior. "I'm going to talk to the head office." I was in a bind. I decided to intervene. The following Monday morning, I was at the main office building. I stormed into my dad's department, but he wasn't there. As I stood there in disbelief, Thompson approached with a smug grin.
"Your dad's absent without leave. Not only he is incompetent at his job, he lacks basic common sense too. A loser like him as a father means you're a loser too."
It seemed like Thompson was trying to demean me by bringing my dad into it. Before I could respond, a stern voice echoed from behind me.
That sounds more like you, Thompson.
I turned around to see my dad standing tall.
"What?"
Thompson tried to retort but was lost for words. That's because my father was not alone there. He was with company's top executives, including the CEO.
We've been informed of all your wrongdoings.
Thompson realized the jig was up and sank to his knees. He had colluded with manufacturers to falsify the quality of the products the company was selling. A colleague from the same department had noticed, but Thompson had silenced him with threats. The CEO instructed for Thompson and the silenced employee to be escorted to a conference room for further discussion. I looked up at my dad and laughed. "Did you join my company for this?" My dad, a certified public accountant who worked at an audit firm before retiring. He was an expert in auditing.
Foster believed it was probably Thompson who faked the quality, but even an internal audit couldn't nail down definitive evidence. So I decided to look into it.
Finally, it made sense to me why he would want to work after retirement age. But I was surprised to hear Dad referring to the CEO as Foster. Did they know each other? Later on, Thompson was let go from the company. The employees who were forced into silence, not by choice but out of intimidation, were spared from disciplinary action because they had cooperated with my father's investigation. That evening, my dad took me to his favorite diner. As we walked in, there was the CEO.
"Hey, is that you, Don?"
The CEO's friendly and informal tone made it seem like they were more than just acquaintances. Sitting across from CEO Foster and sipping some bourbon, the CEO spoke with deep gratitude to my dad.
"Thanks to you, Don, our company was saved. I can't thank you enough."
My dad told the CEO that it's okay and then smiled.
It's me who should be thanking Foster. I owe you big time.
Seeing my puzzled look, he then shared how he met CEO Foster. Ever since Mom passed, my dad had been living off grocery store meals and takeout. He grew tired of it and stumbled upon this diner. The home-style cooking reminded him of Mom's dishes, so he started coming here every night. Many regulars, like my dad, loved this place. One of them was CEO Foster. With shared interests like bourbon, casual greetings turned into deeper conversations. Before long, they became close friends, sharing their personal circumstances with each other.
After I retired, I look forward to hiking with my wife. but she passed, and I kept regretting not taking her hiking sooner.
Why not join my senior hiking group? While it won't replace hiking with your wife, I think she would be happy seeing you lively and active.
To which CEO Foster suggested. Initially hesitant, CEO Foster convinced my dad to join him on a hike the following week.
The beauty of nature is unparalleled. From the summit, all the weight on my heart felt cleansed, realizing how small we truly are.
He was inspired and he decided to join the hiking group. And on weekends, he would go hiking in various mountains with CEO Foster and their club friends. Many in the group, including CEO Foster, had lost their loved ones.
Seeing them lead bright, strong lives motivated me to move forward too.
Soon after, Dad took up chess, something he always wanted to do, and attended classes. Wanting to give back, he volunteered in community cleanups and read to kids at the local library. One day, CEO Foster shared concerns about possible internal fraud in the company. My dad, who had no intention to work again, decided to help his friend. He revealed his past experience at an auditing firm and offered to work as an employee to investigate. Initially hesitant, CEO Foster accepted after realizing the severity of the situation. It was then that my dad realized that he was the CEO of my company.
Who would have thought we'd be connected like this?
The three of us shared a laugh. It's funny how life connects us in mysterious ways. Currently, my dad works part-time, 2 days a week. I once suggested he could retire since he had done his part, but he joked, "My presence keeps the others in line." In reality, he seems to enjoy his work. On weekends, he goes hiking with CEO Foster, and during the week, he plays chess or volunteers. He's busier than I am.
My life is just beginning.
Seeing my dad's vigor, I felt a renewed drive. I can't let him outdo me after all.